As your college experience winds down, I'm sure you're feeling very excited about beginning a new chapter in your life. There are many things to consider as your college experience comes to a close. There are graduation parties, family events, packing and moving, and let's not forget the most important, landing that dream job that you've been preparing for the last 4 years. There are so many changes happening in a short period of time in your life, and it can be very overwhelming. A few friends and I are here to help. This video will walk you through the interview process from start to finish and help you ace your interviews and land your dream job. Austin and Rob are here to help you best prepare for the many interviews you have coming up. Austin will help give you suggestions on how to do research on the companies that you'll be interviewing with, and he'll help you refine your resume to help you stand out in the best possible way. Rob will help you dress for success, what to wear, what not to wear. He'll be the fashion expert, and he'll help make sure that your hygiene is on point. Not only will you need these preparations to succeed, but after you land the interview with these tips, Lauren will help you during the interview on the day of. She's going to help you calm your nerves. She'll help you handle yourself so that you impress any interviewer, and how to ask questions and answer questions so that you get the best possible experience with the interview. And now that you've aced the interview, Colin will help you understand the importance of following up with your interviewer so that you land your dream job. Why it's important to follow up with a letter and a phone call. And there are plenty of statistics out there on why all of these things together are important and will help you land your dream job. Let's begin at the beginning. Austin's going to walk you through the process of doing your research and refining your resume so that you will stand out to your interviewer in all the right ways. Take it away, Austin.
Thank you, Emily. Now, prior to landing that interview at your dream job, or if you're looking to move upwards in your company, it's important to prepare and do your research. Now, if you're starting off in your job search, it's important to learn about the opportunities available to you. The first thing you're going to want to do is understand what you want and what you're trying to get out of your job. Good chance you already have some understanding of this since you're in college in a degree field and you're kind of moving that way already. That's a great start. The next thing you want to do when you have a rough idea of what you'd like to do is analyze their career field. There's jobs out there that are in other areas that you hadn't even thought of, so take time to explore and see what there is out there for you. And once you find something, it's a good idea to look at different companies. They have different benefit packages and slightly different responsibilities, so it's important to see what meshes with you. Brings me in my next point, which is qualifications. And if you have them or not, some jobs have things such as absolute must-have skills where they won't even consider you as a candidate if you don't have them. Others have preferred or desirable skill sets such as languages or tech skills. And maybe this is something that you can learn before applying and make your resume look even better. The next thing you're going to want to do is understand the company and its history as well as its mission statement. And this is going to be really relevant during your resume and your interview process, but we'll get to that later. Now, this is all relevant if you want to move upwards in your current company too. They'll look at applicable work experience. So what this means moving forward is what you do now can impact later. So make sure you're developing the technical skills on the job, the leadership, and then you're just a good employee day in and day out. People often forget this, and not only if you're applying internally within your own company, but if you're looking to go somewhere else. Oftentimes, what you do, some of the part of the time is what you do all the time. So make sure you're really hammering day in, day out to make sure you're a good candidate for the future. Now, whether you're looking for a new job or applying for an internal position, it's important to dust off that old resume and make some changes. Compared to some professional resources, you definitely don't want to use the resume that you used to get in college. It's A lot has changed since then, and you want to reflect that. Be sure to include all applicable work experience and education, but keep it concise. Don't include every organization or anything you've ever done, ever, if it's not pertinent. Generally, you want to keep it to about a page long, but it can be longer. Just something to keep in mind. And lastly, remember to tailor your resume to the company. This will really make you stand out from the competition because you read that history, you read their mission statement, and you want to really show how those two mesh. So it's important to understand your values, what the company values, and synthesizing the two moving forward so you can land that interview. Next, Rob is going to show us how to make a lasting impression and capitalize on what we just learned.
Thanks, Austin. So you submitted your resume and you got called for the interview. Now what? First impressions, they mean everything. J.K. Rowling, she said it best. A good first impression can work wonders. You want to show up to your interview on time and in the proper dress attire. Wearing that right proper dress attire can really set the standard for that interview. Here are some ways to provide that strong first impression. Let's start off by looking at your personal hygiene. Personal hygiene meaning everything outside of the clothing and accessories you wear. The day of your interview, take a nice long hot shower. You want to smell good. You want to look good. You want to have a nice clean haircut or in a ponytail or look professional. You want to be clean shaven, have neatly trimmed beards. You do want to avoid anything overpowering. You don't want any kind of overpowering scents or smells, so really limit the use of cologne and perfume. Now that we've talked about your hygiene, let's look at what type of clothes we should wear. You want to wear dress clothes, a nice business professional look, which can include a nice dress shirt, button down, maybe a nice tie, a blazer, dress pants, maybe a statement dress, pantsuit, a blouse, a skirt, anything that looks professional and is in a dress attire. Let's not forget about dress shoes. A nice pair of dress shoes really enhances your ensemble. Accessories are a great way to add to your look. Maybe a nice bracelet or a nice necklace. That can really help to look professional and enhance your appearance. Now let's look what things we should avoid wearing. We want to avoid wearing casual clothing. No jeans and t-shirts. We want to really look professional. We also want to avoid stained up or torn up clothing. You also want to avoid worn down clothing. Your jewelry that you wear, you want to make sure it's not distracting or pulling attention away from you. You're the center of attention, not the jewelry. In summary, good personal hygiene, a professional look, and avoiding overpowering scents is the perfect way to master your first impression. Now, it's time for that interview. Lauren's up next, and she will show you the best ways for you to master your interview.
Thanks, Rob. So, it's the day of your interview and you're all prepared. You've done your research, you've got the perfect resume, and you're all dressed up. But what next? How do you present yourself as the best possible candidate for the job? To start, you've just arrived at your interview, preferably early, but on time is acceptable, and you're about to greet your interviewer. Always remember to be gracious. Thank them for taking the time to meet with you and for considering you for the job. And don't forget that all-important handshake. Make sure it's firm, but not too forceful. Here is a quick demonstration to help you perfect yours.
With the lovely Tabitha. I'm going to walk up to Tabitha. Tabitha will hopefully offer her hand. She has done beautifully. I'll then accept. The palms meet, thumbs down, fingers wrapped around, not too tight because we're not trying to arm wrestle, and at the same time not too limp as if you can't be bothered. And it's 2 to 3 pumps, and then hands back to the side. Remember, when we're doing the handshake, not too far away, so we're almost kind of stretching. At the same time, we don't want to be too close because then you're in somebody else's body space.
As Austin mentioned, you've also done your research, so convey this to your interviewer. Also, tell them how you know about the company. Did a current employee recommend the job to you, or is it a company you've always wanted to work for? Now the preliminaries are all done, the interviewer is going to ask you questions so they can get to know more about you and your qualities. First, they want to know about you. What makes you a good match for the role? To help answer, think of a few reasons beforehand. So as you're answering these questions, you have an answer on the top of your head. Also, they want to know that you're a team player and that you're motivated to be successful. Next, they want to know more about whether you'd be a good fit for the company. Tell them what value you think you'd bring and where you want to learn and develop. Most importantly, don't rush when answering the questions. If you're unsure, pause, gather your thoughts, and don't be afraid to ask for clarification. They'd appreciate this more than you not answering the right question. Now the interviewer is finished with their questions, it's your turn before saying goodbye. When asking your questions, they need to know that you're interested. Ask them about the role that you're interviewing for, what job responsibilities you would have, and where you'd be working. Another option is to ask them about the current goals of the company. You're almost done, but before you leave, make sure you reiterate why you think you'd be a good fit and that you are interested in the opportunity. Also ask about possible next steps and remind them that they can contact you if they need more information. Lastly, don't forget to thank them again for their time. During this interview, you want to appear professional, confident, and capable, but most importantly, remain calm, breathe, and be yourself. Now that the interview is finally over, it's important that you don't just go home and wait for the company to contact you. Instead, the interview process continues with follow-up, which is key to landing that dream job. This is something Colin is going to mention in his discussion about job hunting statistics.
Interviewing for your dream job can be a nerve-wracking experience. Of course, you want to make the best possible first impression, but chances are you're already on the right track, since your resume was good enough to secure a meeting with your potential employer. Here we'll go over some statistics about what the hiring process entails and how you can use those to your advantage. First, let me give you a couple facts about job hunting. In 2016, 1 in 6 job candidates were granted interviews. Now, with that said, apply to companies that already employ someone you know. Referrals are 5 times more effective than any other hiring source. That means employers love the added credibility given by the personal reference, and that's something that the competition who just applies online simply doesn't have. Next, I'll share some statistics about the average employer and the competition that's out there. The average corporate job receives 250 applications. Of those candidates, only 4 to 6 will receive interviews, and then finally 1 will be given a job offer. Also, be honest on your applications. 75% of employers have reported that at one point during a hiring process, they've caught a candidate lying on their resume. Finally, let's go over the interview process and how you should proceed after that. The average interview process in 2014 took 22.9 days from start to finish. Half of all hired employees report that they underwent 3 interviews before they finally got the job offer. And finally, once you're through the interviewing process, show gratitude to the employer who took his or her time to speak with you about the position. 57% of candidates will not get job offers simply because they neglected to send a thank you note to the employer. So in conclusion, let's use these statistics to your advantage. There are so many candidates out in the job market that will apply to as many jobs as they possibly can using the most generic resumes, hoping that one employer will bite. Know what the competition's doing and know what your employers are looking for so that you can go get your dream job.
Thanks, Colin. Wow. As you can see, not only will you have a lot on your plate because you're finishing up school, but also because there are a lot of components to getting hired by a company you really admire, respect, and want to work for. But with this guide, we know you will be able to land the dream job in no time at all. Austin taught you just how important doing your research and refining your resume is. The tips Austin suggests for your resume will be invaluable and will really help you stand out in the best possible way so that you get called in for an interview. Rob showed you how to dress for success for the interview, and with his tips, you just might be the best dressed person in the room. Lauren walked you through how to handle the interview the day of. She reminds us how to be professional, polite, and calm. Displaying that demeanor in any interview will help you stand out, and acting as a professional will always have the interviewers speaking positively about you after you've left the room. And Colin helped you understand the importance of follow-up and gave us some interesting statistics on why all of these tips matter. With all of these suggestions, we are confident that no matter what sights you have set for yourself in terms of your first job out of college, you will succeed and land your dream job. Thanks for joining us, and good luck.